when someone is abducted by criminals and the police apprehend, at least let us have also the decency to congratulate. And I want to Nairobi reports that the wife has been abducted. So I don't know whether that was an abduction or is a case of people. Honorable Speaker, this was a general statement, and but I hear a lot of reference to abductions. Even the member on the floor, the chair of our Water and Irrigation Committee is speaking about abductions. But from what I hear, the examples he's giving is the work of criminal elements, like the person is speaking about. And those are issues I thought the member and all of us should, even as we express our concerns on the rates of crime in the country, that we must be careful and cautious that we do not use the floor of this House to admonish our security agencies, not even to recognize the good work. For instance, it took less than a very few days, Honorable Speaker, from the time the Isli killings happened to the time the young lady unfortunately was killed in Kimani, for the DCI to apprehend the suspect, and even for the member on the floor to get to know. Therefore, describing all these things as abductions, I know it is politically expedient and very good for the public gallery to be speaking about abductions. And there's a trend, Honorable Speaker, I must say so, that today in this country, even people who are legitimately arrested by policemen are booked into police cells, known police cells, are produced before courts of law. Those are being described as abductions. Probably we should, even as we engage, Honorable Speaker, be able to define what is an abduction. You saw the other case, Honorable Speaker, only this week or last week. A wife to somebody is in Nairobi, is also married to another man in Narok. The husband in Nairobi reports that the wife has been abducted. So I don't know whether that was an abduction or is a case of people stealing other people's wives. Now tomorrow, if the Honorable Bowen moves to Marakwet East with my wife, will I report my wife as having been abducted? Or do I say I've been unable to do certain things that the Honorable Bowen has managed to do? I mean, Honorable Speaker, I was only pointing out to say that we must be careful as leaders because we have a national platform. The adjectives we use to describe incidences. When a murderer murders people, that is a murderer. When someone is abducted by criminals and the police apprehend, at least let us have also the decency to congratulate, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate DCI Amin and his team of security officers in the operations department, because they have moved with speed. When the Kware killings were happening, Honorable Speaker, it took them less than a week to apprehend the suspect. But it took the police a very short time, the Kenya police, to allow that suspect to escape from lawful custody, Honorable Speaker. Those are the issues I would expect that as leaders we should be addressing. Commend our officers when they do well, encourage them to do better, to apprehend suspects, but also avoid the temptation to brand every other criminal activity as an abduction. And I know there are also elements among us who want to make all these things look like they're abductions by the police. Missing persons, I appreciate what Millie Odhiambo has said, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, that there are even missing persons who just disappear now, also found. There are those who are arrested and they say they were abducted. Criminals must be arrested. And they will be arrested. And they must be produced before courts of law, as happens, in accordance with our Constitution, Honorable Speaker. So I just want to encourage, Honorable Speaker, since this was a general statement, that even as we engage, let us be cautious. Let us not use this opportunity to play to the gallery, to speak to what you think is politically expedient, and will excite people out there. Let us be responsible as leaders.
Very well, Leader. Honorable Bowen, just take the next 1 minute.
I know you have said we must respect the Constitution, which we must. And I gave my undertaking to the country that there will be no disappearance of Kenyans. I gave that undertaking. There will be no Kenyans in Rivayala. There will be no Kenyans in Tana River. There was a time we had 30-something bodies of Kenyans in rivers. That will never happen under my watch. And I have said this with clarity. If there is any Kenyan who has disappeared, I want people to step forward and say, Kenyan so-and-so has disappeared. I would be very happy to deal with it.
I made a commitment to the people of Kenya, and I want to look you in the face, that under my administration, I do not want a situation where a Kenyan disappears. I want to promise you and to promise the people of Kenya that under my administration, there will be no Kenyans in Rivayala or any other river or in any other place. If there is a family, any family, that their child or their friend or their relative went to a demonstration, whether it is last year or this year, and never came back, I want to know the names, because I will take firm and decisive action. Because as I talk to you today, I don't have a single name of somebody who has been abducted or disappeared.
Three things. I have told you, I made a deliberate decision to make sure that the police operate independently. That's number one. Number two, I have told you, if the police summon Linus Kaikai, and Linus Kaikai refuses to go to the police, are the police not entitled to come and look for you? When the police come to arrest you after they have summoned you and you didn't show up, is that an abduction?
So let's have this as a confirmation that
no, I'm just asking you.
Let's have this as a confirmation, Your Excellency, that Alfred Keter was summoned by police. He refused to
the police have
respond to
issued
the
a
summons.
statement. I would suggest, instead of us having a back and forth, the police have released a statement. Can you check what the police have released, the statement?
Tukiwa na gavana sisi Balile anaweza sema hapa tulifanyia hii serikali campaign mpaka ikashita. Mimi naomba Ruto, president, mimi namuomba tafadhali Ruto. Mimi nikumbuka mimi mzee. Kama ni wewe uko na hiyo kijana, kama ni serikali iko na hiyo kijana, tafadhali mimi naomba aachili.
This year has been very challenging to the people of Kenya. You've had serious economic problems. You've had challenges. You've had demonstrations. Lives have been lost in the course of this year. Innocent lives. But we have also seen something that we want to see end with this year. The issue of abductions of innocent people. This is a primitive thing. And it is something that is very strange. You cannot live in a country where people disappear or people are abducted for no other reason and kept incommunicado for a long time. That shows that there is no government. The government must take this matter seriously. And this thing must end completely. People have been abducted. Families have been left in pain. Many parents have been crying. Our child was abducted the other day, and by some people who were uniformed, and you have never seen this child up to now. These kind of things are very strange. So I want to urge the government to ensure that this matter ends completely this year. We want a safe and secure country.